Right guys, so I'm back with another video. So I know it's been a long while since I've actually made a video. So that's why I wanted to come back with probably the most valuable video I've ever made on YouTube. So if you're trying to learn Facebook ads, and I've been there, I've done it myself, all these videos out there, they showed you how to build a campaign, might not work for you. So if your ads aren't working, then this is the video for you, because I'm going to show you a high level way of doing Facebook ads, what I got taught by my mentors, and I've implemented it for my own business and my own clients, and has been able to generate millions in revenue. So I want to share this exact strategy with you completely free, and others would probably charge thousands to this. So I'm going to jump onto the Mac. So we're on the Mac now, and as I promised, I'm going to share with you my exact blueprint. So first off, as I said, I want to give you an in-depth understanding, because there's a lot of videos out there that just show you how to build a Facebook campaign. And, they're pretty terrible, because it actually takes about 5 minutes to build a Facebook campaign. But once you have a true understanding of how this actually works, then you're never going to come across an issue again. So that's what you're going to have by the end of this video. So as I said, first off, you actually need to understand how Facebook works. So how its learning algorithm, how everything works. So I'm going to go into that. So just things to remember before we start, and I will go more in depth on each of these points. But Facebook is a non-linear system. So, as kids in maths, we're taught, this system with a graph, which I'll show you in a minute, where it's just a straight line. And, very rarely is anything in life actually linear. It's usually exponential or in fractal patterns. But I'll get into that in a second. Also, Facebook mirrors the natural selection algorithm, which will all make sense in a minute, but we'll get to that. And also, 90% of Facebook advertising is done off Facebook. So as I said, building a campaign, which about 99% of these tutorials on Facebook show you only how to do that. That is not the majority of the work, and the actual majority of the work is done off Facebook, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. And also, there's no one way to run Facebook ads. So even though I said I'm going to give you my blueprint is going to be able to be applied to any business you're in. And, there's not one way to do it, because that's not how Facebook works. And also, Facebook is way, way smarter than you. So what you think is right is usually wrong. What Facebook thinks is right and you think is wrong is usually right. So just keep that in mind. So as I mentioned before, as you can see on the left here, this one with the blue line, that's a linear graph. So this is what we're taught at kids, and, taught growing up, we think it's going to be like this. And then on the left, you've got this sort of, on the right, you've got this sort of like tree pattern, this fractal pattern. That basically represents how Facebook works. So you can imagine here, we imagine one of these branches is an ad we're trying, it doesn't work, or one of them does work, so it branches off into another one that works, and then we make new variations of that ad. This is how Facebook works. It doesn't work in one straight line. And also you can see this graph here with, this is basically what the graph of life is actually like. You put the work and you put the work and you see no results, and then it exponentially takes off. So these graphs on the right, that's what you need to keep in mind with Facebook. And if you do take these limiting beliefs that you have, real life about things being linear, then this is going to mess you up with Facebook, and you're probably going to give up before you get any results at all. To actually be successful with Facebook, it requires genetic testing. So this means testing new ads and, just seeing what works. You have to keep trying and testing different stuff. So as you can see here, this is the basic structure of a Facebook ad campaign. And, I'm just going to touch on this briefly. And you're going to see in a minute how this is very similar to how the natural selection algorithm works. And here you go, here's the natural selection algorithm. So this is, mutation, variation in gene, and then a good one creates more good genes, and then a bad one, we stop that because it's creating bad ones. And if you actually just compare them side by side, it's actually, quite strange how similar they actually look. They actually work in exactly the same way. So how Facebook algorithm actually works, cutting through all the BS that's out there. So you need to understand that Facebook is an evolution model, and it knows more about you than you know about yourself. Just think about that for a minute. Like, what you think you know about people, what you think you know about your target audience, where they live, what street they're on. Facebook is collecting millions of tiny data points on each person. So it knows you better than you even know yourself. So really, you want to give Facebook the control in this scenario, and don't think that you know everything and just, put loads of limiting targeting on it, because that's just Facebook going to go, no, that's not your audience. I'm going to keep spending your money and show it to people and not deliver results. And also, Facebook knows that much about you that it creates this deep paradox of what you think you're actually seeing and buying through free will is actually mostly just a social platform adapting and figuring out what you like and then showing you more of that until you have confirmation bias, which essentially means that you like it just because you've seen it so many times. You're biased just for the fact that, somebody following you in front of your eyes. What it basically does, it creates clusters of people with similar interests and hobbies, and it classifies that into an audience or a data set. So just to tell you a little story, to give you an example, growing up, I used to always read sort of entrepreneur books, always interested in that sort of, niche to say. And then when I was, I never thought there was anyone like this. I never really bumped into anyone who was like read all the same books. It was similar to me, maybe online, but not real life. And then when I was older, I actually met this guy who had literally read every single one of the same books, same courses, and was literally like a carbon copy of me. So it just shows that me and him must have been grouped into the same audiences on Facebook, sold the same books by the same entrepreneurs, and read the same things. So, you know, it's actually so powerful when you look at it like this and when you actually understand it. And also, you know, this weird phenomenon where you think that your phone is listening to us, and then, you know, so you'll say something, the next minute you're being shown an ad of what you're talking about. And I basically just think this is because Facebook is literally, you know, shaping your conscious and subliminally showing you pictures and music and products that you don't even realize you looked at, and then you go talk about because you didn't notice it in the first place, and then you see the ad again, and now because you're aware of it, you associate that, and it creates this weird feeling. So I don't think it's actually anything too sinister like Facebook spying on you or anything like that, but there's still the chance, so be careful. And, you know, as I said, it models natural selection. So it's one big AI algorithm that's basically growing through how humans grow, through evolution, natural selection. And when you look at it like that, it just gives you an easy understanding. You can go, okay, well, if my ads aren't working, that just means I need to add some new variation. I need to add a new ad. I need to add a new audience. I need to add some new ad copy. And that's how you make it work. So it's ever broken, something's not working. Just look at where it's broken, and you can use this reading the data in a second, which I'm going to get into. Don't worry, later in this webinar, I'm going to show you exactly how you can read the data on your ad account. But you can look at it and think, yeah, I'm just going to add some new variation, and then it starts again. It re-optimizes and shows your ad to new people, and, you know, you've got a chance for that to work again. So why am I telling you all this? Because it's absolutely BS the amount of, you know, Facebook tutorials that are on YouTube that just show you how to build a campaign, because this is absolutely useless. Like, anyone can build a campaign, and once you know how to do it, it literally takes like 3 minutes. But understanding Facebook is actually something a lot different, and this is something that people charge you thousands of pounds for. You know, I paid thousands of pounds in courses and from our mentors to actually learn this stuff. And as I said, I'm going to share with you completely for free. But it's so important that you have an in-depth understanding of how it actually works. So this means that, you know, you can apply any strategy. If you just apply one strategy, say in a tutorial of YouTube, and it breaks, then, you know, you don't know what to do. But if you have a deep understanding, you can look at the entire system and see exactly where it's broken, and you can fix it. You know, this graph that I put down here, this was literally me. So when I was trying to learn Facebook ads on YouTube, you can see, you know, that it's going up with the red line at the bottom, then it goes down again, and then it goes up, and then it goes down again. And this was literally me finding, you know, new Facebook strategies, a golden strategy that people claim to have, when really all you need to do is just understand how the algorithm works as a whole, and then you'll be able to apply this to anything, and, you know, any strategy, any business, anything like that. So first off, and I do want to touch on this fairly briefly because this isn't the most high-level stuff we're going to get into in this webinar, but you need to pick the right audience. And, you know, I'm kind of on the fence here, and I think that your ad even, you know, selects the right audience for you. So, you know, the truth is that you should have a good understanding of your target audience by now if you're watching this video, because this is an advanced tutorial. So you should understand what they like, what they're scared of, what their pain points are, you know, what they hang out on. Do they hang out on LinkedIn? Do they hang out on Facebook? They obviously should be on Facebook because you're watching this video. But by now you should have a deep understanding of it. And, you know, don't worry, I'm going to show you how to write world-class ads as well, because I did just say that, you know, your ad and your headline and, you know, what you've chosen as your creative, which is just a picture or video you use, literally does about 90% of calling the audience out for you. So obviously you're going to tell Facebook, I want you to look in this direction, these sort of people. But really, the people outbound groups are actually going to respond to it are the ones that are going to read that first headline on the ad or see the thumbnail of your video, and they're the ones who click. So, you know, the ad does most of the work for you. So here's a quick targeting strategy, and this is the one that's allowed me to do hundreds of thousands in revenue for my own company, and also multiple millions for my clients as well. And I learned this from my mentors, and I just want to keep it simple. I don't want to overcomplicate it with anything like that. So say, for example, it was, you know, your target audience is a surfer. So you might be searching Uggs, you might be searching surfboards, you might be searching magazines to do with that. That's where you classify as interest. And then once you've got a bit of data on your ad account, say like 500 to £1,000 plus, I recommend £1,000 plus, you then make custom audiences. So this is when you go to Facebook. I want you to make me a custom audience out of these, say it's 5,000 people that have viewed 3 seconds of my ad video, and you can literally combine all the videos together and make a custom audience. And I'll show you how to do this in a second. And then out of that custom audience, you use this to make lookalikes. So a lookalike, for example, you can make a custom audience of people that have visited your website, and say it's 1,000 people. So this isn't really enough to actually run as an audience, because you really want to be working with big audiences, especially coming into 2024. So what you want to do then is give this custom audience to Facebook and say, I want you to find me 1 to 10% of the UK population that are similar to these people that have visited my website. And this can be an absolute goldmine for you. But the thing to be cautious of, and I've done a lot of testing about this, because after iOS 14, track is not as accurate. So this means that lookalikes are not going to be, as accurate as they were. So in some cases, you can just go straight to broad audiences after interest, as this can perform better. But I would definitely test lookalikes as well, because, these are some of the highest quality audiences you can have. However, you are going to pay more for this because Facebook sees this as better data at the end of the day. But yeah, start with interest, make some customs, and then either switch to lookalikes and broad. And that is all you need to know with that. So understanding your customers' genetic variances. So what you need to do with your ads, you need to try different angles. You need to try different appeals because it's going to appeal to different people. Because if you just have one ad, one angle, and one pain point, this might appeal to one person, but this might not appeal to so many different people. So you need to vary them. But I'm actually going to show you how to do this in a second. And obviously by this point, you should have a pixel on your website. And I would even go as far as create a custom conversion. And if you really want to get techie with it, you can actually use Zapier and you can set it up to your website and then it will, accurately track the conversion. So the pixel's not that accurate anymore. You do lose about 40% of conversion. So this might be purchases on your website. They just weren't tracked because people opted out of the iOS 14. But what you can then do is create a custom conversion with Zapier. So this will feed into the ad account, so you'll be able to see exactly how many purchases you've had from the website. Now, you're probably wondering, how do I know if my ads are working? And, this depends on the goal of your ad. So you're in e-commerce or selling products directly and you want to see actual purchases using the pixel and custom audiences. Now, you're probably wondering, how do I know if my ads are even working? And I'm going to show you exactly how to read them in a second. But essentially, if you're running ads in e-commerce, then all you need to know is, am I getting, purchases profitably? So if your profit margin is £30 and you're getting, your cost per purchase on Facebook ads is £20, you're making £10 profit, is that enough profit for you to actually run the business and actually be successful with it? That's all you need to know. Because at the end of the day, you can read all the individual metrics, but if it's profitable and it's getting your purchases profitable, then that's good enough, essentially. And, if you actually run lead gen ads like I do for my business, I'm going to show you how to read their metrics as well, because this can be a little bit more complicated. And then, as I said, if you're running lead gen ads, then you need to keep track of how many leads you're actually getting and what percentage of these leads convert into customers profitably. And you should keep track of this on a sheet, which I'm going to give you in a second. And this is an absolute cheat sheet. So shout out to Charlie for this one, for actually giving me this. And it's an absolute goldmine. So I'm going to show you that now. So reading the roadmap from the sky. So first off, before I show you how to do expert service delivery using the sheet, you want to take a screenshot of this because this is how you should have the metrics on your ad account set up. So you have your ad delivery, your amount spend, your impressions, your CPM, your clicks, your CTR, and then your link click-through rate, results, cost per results, and engagement rate ranking. You want to do it like this because this is going to give you a perfect measurement of every step in the funnel. So you can look at this and see exactly where the problem is. So I'm just going to show you now in the ad account. So we're in the ad account now, and all you would do to literally set up the columns the way I've just said it. Mine are obviously set up like this already. I know they're not actually, so I'm going to do it now. Oh yeah, I've done it here. So this is how it should set up. And all you would do is you go onto the bottom and you press customize column, and then you're going to export the preset ones off here and add the ones I told you in. Press apply, and then you're going to go back to this, and then you're going to press save. It'll say save here, and then you're just going to name it so you can remember it then. But now I'm going to show you how to actually read the metrics. So amount spent, obviously you want to see how much it's spent, and then your impressions. This gives you a good idea. Is the ad actually delivering properly? Is it working? Is it getting shown to people? And then your CPM is going to give you a good indication of whether you've got your targeting right. So impressions and then CPM is where you can work out, is the targeting sort of okay? So with this, it does depend on the industry, but you want this to be anywhere from sort of £5 to £20. If it's higher than that, it's usually the wrong audience, because what this means essentially, it's costing a lot of money for Facebook to show it to 1,000 people. So these 1,000 people aren't resonating with it. It's not the right audience. So it's having to spend more money to get this in front of people that are actually going to click on it, which leads us into the next metric. So clicked, are people clicking on it? Are they engaging with it? Does it stop people in the feed? So this gives a good indication of what's written on the ad or the picture, the thumbnail a little bit. But you need to sort of read these alongside other metrics as well. And then your CTR, so this is a blended rate. So this will tell you where they've clicked anywhere on the ad. But a more accurate one to look at, and this is why I have this afterwards, is your link click-through rate. So this is going to tell you how many people actually clicked on the ad, but then actually clicked on the link. And that's way more important. And with this, you want this to be anywhere from sort of 1 to 3%. If it's below 1% at the beginning, that's okay. But really, for a lifetime, if you're running this for a while, it needs to be over 1%. Or, I would definitely change the ad copy on that ad. And obviously you've got your cost per result. So is this profitable? At the end of the day, you've got to look at everything. You know, if you're getting really high cost per clicks, it doesn't really matter if you're still getting profitable purchases. So just look at the whole machine, and that's the best way to look at it. And that's how you read your metrics. And as I promised, I'm going to show you my service delivery sheet. So this is if you've already lead gen ads, it's going to show you exactly where to see where the problem is and, you know, do expert service delivery for your clients. And I'll actually put this in the link in the description below. So if you're in lead gen, then this is going to be your absolute, you know, golden ticket to get an amazing result for your clients. And when you show your clients this, they're just going to know, you know what you're doing with it. So essentially you'd fill this in every day and, you know, you put your ad spend in here, your impressions, your CPM, your clicks, your CTR, and then all the way, and then the client would fill these out in red. And then, you know, this literally gives you a picture of the whole entire system. So if the client's like, oh, I'm not converting any of these leads, it'll be like, well, how many calls have you done today? Or, you know, if this is too high, you might think, well, maybe our audience is wrong. And you can literally see a full picture of this whole thing. And it even calculates a moving ROI for you. So this thing is an absolute goldmine. And you can, if there's ever a problem or, you know, the client's complaining or anything like that, you can look at the sheet and think, well, you can ask, how many calls you say? And they're like, oh, well, I've done no calls. And well, that's the issue there. And this is just going to give you so much clarity. And if you want to make a copy of this, I'll leave the link in the description. All you need to do is go to File and then go to Make a Copy. And, you know, this is an absolute lifesaver. So now I've showed you how to read the metric. I've showed you how to set your ad account up. And if you're in lead gen, then I've showed you how to do expert service delivery and identify any problem that you have with your ads. So now I just want to talk about some important factors as well, what's changed. And, you know, you used to be able to get away with this in the past. But now more than ever, your relevance score, your ad quality, and your user feedback are important. So what does this mean by you? It just means getting these, you know, these simple wins. So you want to win these audiences because at the end of the day, Facebook is a bidding system, and it's going to give it's going to show the ad to the people with the most money. In some cases, it is a little bit even. It's not just about money, and he's got the best ad. So make sure it fits the screen. Make sure the ratios are right. If you're doing Instagram stories, you're doing Instagram feed. Make sure it fits properly. Make sure the ad's not low quality. Make sure it's a high quality video because things like this is going to get you ranked low, you know, lower than your competitors. And, you know, what does this mean for you? So you need to make ads that look native to the platform. You don't want these ads that just stick out and look like generic ads because people are so used to it now that they've developed something called ad blinders and they can just see them instinctively and scroll straight past them. So you really want to make ads that look like, you know, natural and will be shared by family and friends or, you know, very click-worthy and engaging. News type articles work very well on Facebook as well. So as I said, you know, this is going to be your edge against competition, especially in 2023 as there's a lot more, and going into 2024 there's a lot more people actually advertising, driving costs up, and you want to make sure your ad's amazing. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that now. So how to write ads that actually convert. So you really want your ads to resonate with the soul of your customer. You know, you can do this by touching on the pain points. You really want to understand, you know, what keeps them up and on it, what they're annoyed about, what they like, what they don't like. And when you know this, you can craft an ad that literally feels like you're speaking to them directly and it calls them out and it stops them in the tracks when they see this ad. So here is my proven script. So you can literally steal this, screenshot this, do whatever you want. And this is going to help you write ad copy so easily. You've got your attentions. This might be, hey, you know, mortgage brokers calling out, blah, blah, blah. And your thought might be a little story of this guy who was able to do this, blah, blah, blah. You then present the problems. This is where you go into some pain points. And I know I'm rushing over because I'm going to show you an example in a second. And then your solution, so you come in with the product, what it does, how it solves it, your credentials, if you've got any social proof or testimonials or anything like that. And then you make your offer and then you add some scarcity. So we've only got limited spots, 5 spots, whatever that is. I know I'm rushing over because I want to get to the high level stuff. And if you actually want to learn how to write ad copy like I do and, you know, how my mentors taught me how to do it, the best books you possibly read are David Ogilvy's, Eugene Schwab's, I think I'm saying that right, Sell Like Crazy by Sabri Subi. And I left this last because I didn't want you to just go into it straight away and cheat. But ChatGPT-4 is actually so good that if you ask the right prompt, which I'll show you in a minute, you can literally write amazing ad copy that is literally as good as some of the best copywriters in the world. Well, maybe not just yet, but we're getting there definitely. So I'm going to show you what prompt to put in now. So the prompt, I'll leave it in the description below, but literally you're going to say, I want you to act as an expert copywriter who has extensive knowledge in the subject you're in. The call to action is this is our offer, what we do, and then it's going to write you some amazing copy. And here's an example of an ad I've written that was able to do roughly a 17x return on ad spend. Obviously, this type of product does a high return on investment anyway, but this ad did amazingly well, and you can see how I've applied the structure to this ad. So you can screenshot this, have a look at it if you want, but I'm just going to go to the next point. So as I said, you know, the biggest game changer in coming into 2024 is using AI to actually make better ads and actually improve the ad copy. Because a lot of you guys are going to be starting from scratch, and it takes a while to actually get good at writing ad copy. But with ChatGPT now, you can literally hack your way there and just, you know, go in there with expert level knowledge that it's going to give you. So how to pick your ad creative. So this is so important as well. And what I found actually works best is videos. So I would definitely use videos, you know, 99 times out of 100 times it was get to pictures. As you know, you can evoke way more emotion in a video and it just captivates people a lot more. And don't get tricked, because Facebook likes to actually give more money to images just because it's cheaper to show it to people. But videos do always outperform images. So now at this point, you know, your ads are working, they're going well, and you want to start making some more money. So I'm going to jump in the ad account and show you how to scale them ads. So we're in the ad account now, and you know, there's two ways to scale ads. You got vertical and horizontal, and in 2024, I would definitely say that vertical is the best way to scale. So horizontal, this would be doing this. You've got your ad set, you're at ad level, and you're just going to duplicate it a few times, like that. And then this is how you would scale. Essentially, you're spending £10, you're now spending £40 across 4 ad sets, and that is horizontal scaling. Oh, let's just click off this. It's just a blank ad account. So it's going to look like that. And then as a vertical scale, all you would do is you'd go in and edit the budget and increase it by 5 to 10% a day, and you know, every day for around about a week. And that is the best way I found in 2024 of scaling ads, and worked a lot better. So now you've got the knowledge, you know, your ads are hopefully going to work. You can identify the issue, but now you just need to be careful. So you need to stay on top of Facebook ad policy, and you need to understand all these current changes that are going on with Facebook and the more competition. And as long as you do, and you know, you're not saying silly stuff or promoting illegal products on Facebook, then you're going to be fine. But just remember that Facebook really doesn't care about you. So if you mess up, they're just going to block you and you're going to be gone forever. So just stay up to date with your policy, make sure everything's compliant, and you're going to be fine. So just some key takeaways from this video. So you should now have a good understanding of the mechanics of Facebook, how it actually works, how it thinks, how it works in fractal patterns. So these little branches, you test if something works. If it doesn't, you cut that branch off, you go to a new one. And that's basically how you find out if it works, because it's not Facebook that's broken, it's you. And you just need to test a new audience, you add a new ad angle, you know, new headline, and it's going to work again. And I've also, you know, explained to you how to, you know, to do your targeting, how to actually find the right audience. So you start with interest, then go to custom/lookalike or broad, and then you can scale from that point onwards. And then I've showed you the system, so I'll provide the Google Sheet below on how to identify any problem. If you're a lead gen agency, you can literally see where the problem will be. And I've given you the structure to write world-class ad copy, so you can now do that. And I've showed you the prompt to use on ChatGPT. And I've also showed you how to scale your ads once they start working. And as always, you need to stay up to date with the policy. So if you enjoyed this video, you know, please give a like, subscribe, and if you like this sort of tutorial type video, this mini course video, then I can do more of these. And if you have any questions on Facebook at all, just please let me know in the comments and I will answer them all. So thanks for watching, everyone, and I will see you soon.